Hey everyone, it's great to have you back on Talk Through Thursday. Before we dive in, I have to say this episode feels like a bit special because we're going to chat with someone whose journey is truly inspiring. Here's a little fun backstory if you want to hear. I have been following Anushka Ji's work for a while now, and her transition from like being a legal field to soft skills trainer and image consultant really caught my eye. I remember thinking of wow, how incredible can someone be with their own unique experiences and uses them to make somebody else's life impactful. I mean, that's something fabulous and exactly what made me talk to you today. Hi Anushka Ji, how are you?
Hi, Barkha. I feel really happy and excited to be on this show,
Thank you so
on your
much.
podcast. Thank you so much for inviting me.
Yeah, it's fabulous to have you. I mean, it's my honor, of course, to share screen with you. And I'd like to start by diving into your story. How was that like? What decision was that which made you transition from your lawful journey to being an image consultant or a soft skills trainer? What intrigued you?
This just brings me to a quote. It was said by C.S. Lewis that, you can't go back and change the beginning, but you can start where you are and change the ending. So, there were a lot of emotional challenges or uncertainties, that required self-awareness, resilience, and adaptability to steer through these transitions. I had to gain a lot of personal strength, which included curiosity. So it was like I was embracing new experiences and learning about, what motivates me to ensure that I'm in alignment in my interests. There was a lot of self-reflection, you say regularly assessing values, my goals, and making sure that all of these fall in alignment to what I've always wanted to do. There was a lot of resilience because I had to cope up with the setbacks, or probably the things that I could not take up as per the circumstances, and using them as a growth opportunity, I would say. And of course, I had to also adapt to the changes and embrace the chaos that was going on, and accordingly move forward. But also, I would say here that, there was a lot of authenticity because I wanted to stay true to myself, my values, what I actually wanted to do, or what I love to do. When I realized that, I wanted to, take that up forward, be true to myself. This happened despite the constant external pressures, or, people who are valuing you down by some or the other way. So again, that was also a part of it. But yes, of course, I mean, there has to be a growth mindset to view
Yes,
these challenges as opportunities. And that's how you grow and develop. So,
definitely.
when you are associating certain habits to a positive experience, so
Hmm.
about this, I would just want to share a story that I, read in the book called Atomic Habits. I'm sure you must have
Yeah,
read it.
of course.
Yeah, so that's the story goes like the man was on a wheelchair,
Hmm.
and this story has stayed me since then. From the time I've read it, he was on a wheelchair and he was asked, whether it's difficult to be confined in such a space. You're on a wheelchair, you can't walk. The man says that, you know what, I'm not confined at all. In fact, this wheelchair has liberated me. He says that if it wasn't for the wheelchair, he would be bedridden totally. So this simple shift in a perspective just transformed the way he lived.
True.
So you see the transitions from these behaviors as burdens. He could think the wheelchair as a burden, but he did not. He turned it into an opportunity. So just transitioning between a
Yeah.
behavior where you take it as a burden and turn it into an opportunity transforms you, I mean, intensively.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so this was one story that, I fondly remember. And definitely the ones that are supporting you, encouraging you completely. So, your surroundings are very important. The people, the friends, the family who give you constant encouragement, constant support are, one of these personal strengths that, help you navigate through these emotional challenges and uncertainties. So, yeah, that was my take. And that's how I've been trying to move forward in my journey.
Yeah, of course. And
Yeah.
I think that's some fabulous advice given to the listeners. And of course, for the listeners, you need to stay tuned because I think there are a lot of golden nuggets of wisdom which are coming your way. So let's get started. And Anushka ji, thinking back, on your journey from like being a direct, straightforward student in school to now imagine there were some tough moments which you have must gone through, right? How did you find the inner strength to keep moving forward despite these emotional ups and downs? And was there a particular realization or personal quality which helped you enhance further in your thoughts, in your behavior? Was there something?
I would say personal qualities, like I already mentioned, that there was a lot of personal growth where I said that, there was a feeling of acceptance. So when you start to accept your current situation, it changes your perspective a lot. You are appreciating the changes, you are accepting the changes, you are discovering yourself as well in these changes. Of course, it's not an easy task, I would say, for anybody to embrace the changes. Sometimes it happens by choice, sometimes it does not happen by choice. Yeah, but I think if you just go with the flow where life is taking you, I'm sure the destination is going to be beautiful. And I hope that for myself as well.
I agree with that. But if we go halfway through your journey, I can only imagine, like from transitioning to the legal career to joining your family business, how it must have felt. How did this unexpected change impacted you emotionally? And is there any memorable moment that really touched you or shifted your perspective in the meaningful way?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely, Barkha. I mean, joining the family business was unexpected thing for me. I had never foreseen it because I'd already chosen a different career path for myself. But, I feel certain unexpected things can be very transformative experiences also. So initially, when I had to get into my family business due to, few reasons, it was initially I felt like a burden. I felt a loss of personal freedom. There were way too many responsibilities, things that I have never encountered or had never seen. Too many responsibilities were there. But however, as time passed, it became a very valuable opportunity for me. And it was an experience where, I could see myself grow. It was a path to self discovery. So the emotional moments of realization, if I could say, it was like recognizing that it is my new reality and I started embracing it. I started valuing the legacy and the hard work that my family members had put in to build, the business around. There was a realization of being grounded about the finances because, first, the grass is greener, always,
True.
until unless you don't see the reality.
Of course.
So that was like an eye opener for me that, we got to be grounded with the finances and definitely understanding the weight of the responsibility and the impact of my actions. So any action would lead to a certain,
True.
impact in the whole business and could affect a lot of people there. So I understood that. Again, there was definitely a feeling of pride, to be a part of the family business and contributing to the success of the business. If I could say, I learned a lot of skills, I faced a lot of challenges, and definitely discovered my hidden strengths. That was the greatest advantage, I would say. I'm glad for. And then, of course, I appreciate the support and the guidance, the trust that, my parents could put into me to hand over me so many responsibilities at one go. And if you say that, definitely it was also a situation where I found myself to be empowered because I found my voice. I could find myself where, I could make certain meaningful decisions which could impact the business and it could be helpful for a lot of people. So these experiences has transformed my perspective to a greater extent, I would say. It has taught me to adapt to new situations and challenges. It's made me understand the struggles and triumphs of my family members. It has made me recognize the value of hard work, dedication, and definitely a self-belief that you need to have in yourself to move into any career, as we are talking about. Since you take on new roles and responsibilities, you definitely develop a kind of leadership skills because you need that kind of a personality or an aura to take up such responsibilities. And definitely there was a sense of deepening relationships and creating shared memories and stories with my family members. So I mean, I would say it was a very transformative experience for me.
Yeah.
Though I'd never thought of it before, but I'm glad that it came through. I would just say that, we should remember always that growth often arises from unexpected circumstances. By embracing the challenges and the opportunities, we can transform our perspective and emerge out even more stronger, wiser, and more resilient, I would say.
That was something fabulous. I mean, seriously, just like you mentioned about embracing yourself to the change. But we know that you've adopted the mantra of focusing on what you can control, which sounds like empowering, of course, being a woman in business. How has embracing this philosophy influenced your emotional well being and how you relate to others, like, especially as you guide future law professionals? What fuels your passion for merging into soft skills with their legal training, of course? Can you share a moment when this mindset brought you peace and new understanding that you can, like, hope to pass to the students? Because, like you mentioned, you just first embrace in yourself and then you spread around the world. So how did you do that?
Yeah, so I would say preparing emotionally, it definitely involves a very deep commitment to understanding and connecting with them. What I thought of approaching it as was, like you said, embrace it first. So it's a self-reflection. I would say start by reflecting on my experiences and my growth. Understanding my journey helps me empathize with the other legal professionals or the students who are just about to start their career, the challenges and the aspirations that they might have. This reflection not only grounds me or but helps me to relate more effectively to their needs. Secondly, I would say empathy and active listening, which I think all of us lack these days, but is the most effective. Here I would strive to cultivate a genuine sense of empathy in them, and by actively listening to students. So when you actively listen, they also understand the importance because they know that they are being heard. So moving on further in their career, they would know that how important it is to hear someone and how would they feel to be heard. By focusing on their potential rather than, just their current skill. If I can encourage and inspire them more effectively, I find it crucial to celebrate small wins and progress, reinforcing their growth mindset. And it's not just the big wins. We got to celebrate the small win, which also contribute to the bigger win.
Definitely.
And also, I would say active listening and empathy, developing that skill helps you understand others' perspectives, concerns better, and also allows me as a trainer, I would say, or as a legal professional to approach to individual needs of your client probably, and then help them accordingly to delve through their challenges or whatever the issues that they're facing. Now, for my passion of soft skills, when I integrate soft skills into legal education, it stems from my belief that it plays a very critical role in the professional success. So legal knowledge, as in technical knowledge, is very easy. I mean, it's that is what is being taught in the law colleges, and that's what even I have learned. But what was not taught to us was the soft skills
Yeah.
part. So I
Happen.
feel, yeah, learning the technical part in any field, not only law, is very easy. I mean, you just need to learn and it's just the processes and the sections that we got to, memorize and learn and apply. But the main part is when you want to understand a human being. I think that's the most toughest part that all of us are somewhere, trying
Begin
to,
with, of course. We're
yeah,
unfolding the unknowns.
absolutely. As I said, that where there's an ability to communicate effectively, you manage stress, you manage your conflicts more easily, and you learn to collaborate. It's not just the winning, and I am right, I am right. It's about collaboration and understanding that, okay, we both have satisfied each other. So that is where the soft skills come into place. This is something that is very difficult to learn as it needs determination. There has to be a want of change within yourself. Even if I tell you 10 times that soft skills is very important, until and unless it doesn't feel like it is important, it's not going to affect you or impact you in any way. Right. So you need to want to change. The person needs to want to change himself for that. Now, I feel a person learning soft skills with legal technical knowledge can make a huge impact in the real world legal practice and would definitely have a competitive advantage over others because we know that the common ground between soft skills or law as a profession is the people. So
Manage,
if
of
I
course,
understand,
emotional management of people.
yeah, emotional management of people, because that's what people come to you with their lot of emotional issues,
Baggage.
be it
Yes.
relating to family, be it relating to land, or whatever's happening. There's a lot of stress going on. So
Yes.
that's what soft skills teaches us, right? The hard moment of realization for me is that I wish I knew this earlier when I studied law,
Mm.
or someone, taught me these skills then, or guided me through the importance of these skills then. That could have impacted my career in a very different way. But nevertheless, I take this up as an opportunity to build up my idea of combining both my careers of law and soft skills and then taking it forward for people who are now freshly graduating. Generally happens in any company, any corporate, or any law firms, where a colleague or a manager or a subordinate for that matter is being very confrontational and very uncooperative. Most of us
Of
have
course,
faced
we've
this
gone
in
through
all the,
such situations.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah. So if you have the app knowledge here of the soft skills,
Mm.
instead of taking it personally and reacting emotionally, the person tends to focus on what he can control, and that is his response. So when you take a deep breath and you acknowledge that, okay, it's their perspective, let's adapt to their communication, the communication style that they're using, and meet their demands or their needs, whatever they're saying. That's what is your emotional maturity. And that's what comes with learning soft skills, embracing it and inculcating it into your own everyday,
Personality.
communications.
Yes.
Yeah.
True.
So this realization, anybody who starts doing this, imagine the kind of realization and the peace it's going to bring to you. You're going to be more calm and focused, composed completely.
True.
You're going to avoid taking things personally, so it's not going to affect you at all. And you're going to find a common ground where you're going to find that it's not you versus me, it's going to be we versus the problem.
Problem. Of
Because
course.
at
Yes.
the end of the day, we got to solve the problem. We don't want to fight between, I mean,
We
each
have
other.
for you on that.
Thank you. And yes, so that just resolves the conflict, I mean, very constructively. So I would say just a mind shift in the emotional intelligence, can lead to harmonious relationships and a sense of inner peace as well.
I think this session is all about emotional management of humans. I mean, this is fabulous. It's going great. If we see, your dedication to making a positive impact is truly amazing. You also talked about touching few people and their emotions and their stories. So, can you share a touching story where your efforts made a significant difference in somebody else's life? And how did that experience affect you personally or professionally, and also reinforce your commitment to your new career path? How did it happen?
Frankly, Barkha, I'm very new to the profession, I mean, this career path right now. Down the line, I could understand the importance of helping at the right time. That is somewhere I felt that I'm bridging the gap, that if I'm helping someone at the right time, even if it's asked for, not asked for, I'm understanding the importance of helping someone. We might feel that everything's fine at the outset, but you don't know what's going on inside
It's fine.
someone's life. So
True.
even if you offer a helping hand, at least when you're asked for, if you feel that it's impacted someone beautifully, imagine the kind of happiness that you're going to feel, right?
And sense
So
of satisfaction, of course, will.
yeah, yeah, a lot of content, a lot of satisfaction, I would say. And also personally, these moments of whatever has happened through my life, I feel, that has deepened my purpose. By witnessing the positive impacts, has reinforced my commitments to help others. Also, I feel that there's a meaningful bond within myself. Like we talked about content and satisfaction, it just helps me emotionally connect with myself even better. I feel a very renewed energy in myself. It feels invigorated and motivated to, continue making a difference in someone's life.
Love
And I would say a sense of community. So, recognizing the interconnectedness of our journeys and the value of support. So, probably we might have the same issue somewhere down the line, but unless and until I don't offer my help or you ask for my help, I'm never going to understand the situation. Maybe I've gone through it sometime back and you're going
it.
through it
Happens.
now.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I've probably done it the hard way. So it becomes easier for you, right, to take my
True.
guidance or someone's whoever's guidance you want. So
Absolutely.
I mean, Yeah, so it's just like the way our journeys and our values, are, I think somewhere or the other, it just goes hand in hand. What keeps me motivated, I would say, is, like I said, the
Most important part.
realization. Yeah, the realization that one person's growth can impact many others. So that causes a ripple effect. For me, I'm continuously learning and improving myself to be better, to serve others. That's a continuous learning process for me. And then I witness others' transformation. I know that I have played a role. So it just like brings me so much happiness. And then again, appreciating the opportunity to give back, make an impact. So the society is also giving you in some way or the other. So I feel it's our duty also to give back to the society. This experience would reinforce the importance of empathy, guidance, support in, empowering others and reach their full potential. That's what keeps me motivated to continue on this path.
That was really enlightening. Thank you so
Thank you.
much for sharing your incredible journey and the invaluable insights you've just mentioned. I mean, it was fabulous to know that. And wasn't it so beautiful? Like, since childhood, you knew that human emotion to connect with others and to just handhold them or assist them whenever they needed, even in spite they didn't ask you that. I mean, that's the quality of a really good human, if we say a good habit for being a child. Fabulous that was. To empower yourself, hashtag plus others. That was
Definitely.
fabulous.
Thank you so much.
And to our listeners, hope you find this conversation as inspiring as I did, because I though like I'm blown with the advices she has given us. And of course, this is the masterclass. Again, I'll say this is the masterclass of emotional management of humans. And yes, thank you, Anushka,
Thank you,
for joining.
Barkha. Thank you so much. It was a very overwhelming experience, I would say. And this was definitely my first podcast. I had absolutely fun chatting with you.
That's my
Thank you so
honor having you for the first time on screen, and that was so enlightening, I must say.
Yeah, I feel everything. See, again, our paths had to cross. So definitely, everything's destined. So yeah, let's just go with the flow.
Definitely.
Thank you so much, Barkha.
Well, thank you so much. See you. Bye. Take care.
Bye.